I grip my water glass too tightly as Mom slides the thick cream envelope across the dining table. The Matthews family crest is stamped in gold on the front, because heaven forbid my sister's birthday invitation arrive without a custom wax seal. Aren't they stunning? Mom glows with pride, watching Bianca pass the envelopes around the table. The calligrapher said it was the most refined design she's created all season. Dad clears his throat, his chest swelling with pride. I reserved the grand ballroom at the country club, had to call in a favor with Jim Harrison, but for my princess turning 30, nothing but perfection. Bianca lets out an excited squeal, tossing her flawless blonde hair over her shoulder. I already have 150 confirmations, and that's before these even go out. The Wilsons' daughter only had 120 guests at their 30th, and everyone said it was the event of the year. She smirks confidently. Until mine. I take a sip of water, letting the ice tap against my teeth. 10 years of this routine. 10 years of watching Bianca's birthday treated like a national celebration, while mine drifts by unnoticed, marked by a grocery store cake if I'm fortunate. Mom turns toward me, pushing a thick manila folder across the table with her French manicured fingers. A platinum credit card rests neatly on top. We need you to take care of everything again this year, dear. You're so wonderful with details. She says it as though granting a privilege instead of assigning unpaid work. I stare down at the folder. Inside are magazine cutouts, Pinterest printouts, and vendor lists. The same folder I've received since I was 16, growing heavier each year with new demands. Make sure they include that champagne fountain like the Wilsons had, Bianca interjects, not even lifting her eyes from her phone, but larger, and with premium champagne, not that cheap kind. Dad taps the credit card. And use this for the deposits. We'll reimburse you. Eventually, he laughs as if we share the joke. My fingers tighten around the folder, trembling, though no one notices. They never do. I see myself at 17, canceling a sleepover to handle Bianca's 21st birthday invitations. I see myself at 21, missing my own dinner reservation because her DJ canceled at the last minute, and someone had to find a replacement. I see myself at 24, watching my bank balance shrink as I covered a $4,000 flower bill Dad promised to repay next week. I'm still waiting. I see my birthdays, exactly 2 weeks after Bianca's, fading into a blur of leftover decorations and distracted greetings. We're all partied out, Mom always says. Let's just do something small. Small means forgotten. Small means a half-hearted text at 9 at night. Small means nothing at all. Kendall, did you hear me? Mom waves her hand in front of my face. I said we need the deposits paid by Friday. Yes, I reply automatically. I heard you. Later that afternoon in my apartment, I spread the folder's contents across my kitchen counter. The theme is glitz and glamour, because old Hollywood was apparently too ordinary, according to Bianca's latest message. The budget started at $4,000 and has somehow inflated to $6,000. My laptop is open beside me, displaying my bank balance. $3,207.42. My entire savings, built slowly from my administrative assistant salary. I have never celebrated a birthday properly, not once in 26 years. My phone vibrates. Rachel, did they trap you into planning the party again? My fingers hover above the keyboard. Something shifts inside me, like tectonic plates grinding for years, finally breaking apart. Not this time. I have another plan. I close Bianca's folder and open a new tab on my laptop. Florida beach rentals. Another tab. Flights to Destin. Another. Swimming with dolphins experiences. My phone rings again. Bianca's face appears on the screen, the professional headshot she insisted everyone use as her contact image. I silence it and turn the phone over. I create a new folder on my desktop labeled My Birthday. Inside, I save screenshots of beachfront homes with wide decks overlooking the ocean. Places where I could watch the sunrise with a mimosa in hand. Places where no one would demand calls or deposits. My phone lights up again, and again, and again. I ignore it as I click Book Now on a blue bungalow with floor-to-ceiling windows and glowing 5-star reviews. 2 weeks in paradise, covering my 26th birthday. For the first time in years, I smile at the thought of a birthday. My birthday. And something unfamiliar blossoms in my chest as I type in my information. It isn't guilt. It isn't fear. It's freedom. The next day at the office, my phone buzzes for the 12th time before noon. I already know it's Mom or Bianca without checking. The constant vibration against my desk has become so distracting that Janet from accounting keeps giving me sympathetic looks over her cubicle wall. Kendall, your phone's having a seizure again, my boss Mark jokes as he walks by. He pauses when he notices my strained expression. Family trouble again? I nod, turning the phone over to reveal 15 new messages. Mom wants to increase the guest list to 175. Bianca has changed the theme from glitz and glamour to diamond elegance, whatever that means. Sorry, I'll silence it. I slide the phone into my drawer, but Mark's hand on my shoulder stops me. Take 10 minutes if you need to handle it. Your quarterly reports are always ahead of schedule. As soon as he leaves, my phone lights up with Mom's name. I step into the break room and answer. Kendall, darling, I've been messaging you all morning, she begins without greeting. I need you to call the caterer immediately. We're adding 25 more guests, and Bianca wants those little lobster puffs she had at the Johnsons' anniversary. Mom, we've already signed contracts. Adding 25 people will cost. Money isn't the concern, dear. This is Bianca's special day. The kitchen door opens, and Janet enters, then quietly retreats when she sees my face. I lower my voice. The budget is already at $6,000. Who's paying the extra costs? Well, you can charge it to the card we gave you. Your father will settle it later. Like last time? The words slip out before I can stop them. Kendall Elizabeth Matthews, I don't appreciate that tone. Oh, and I nearly forgot. I'll be stopping by your office at lunch with fabric swatches for the table linens. Before I can protest, she hangs up. I grip the counter's edge, breathing slowly through my nose. I check my bank account on my phone after booking the vacation, the balance that won't increase until next payday. After lunch, following my mother's visit to the office, when I return to my desk, a wave of heat rises up my neck. I slip into the restroom, locking myself inside a stall while my hands tremble. That night at home, I pull old family photo albums from my closet. Page after page of Bianca's extravagant celebrations. Her sweet 16 in a rented ballroom, her 21st with a live band, her 25th with a weekend getaway for her and 20 friends. I open my childhood journal, the entries forming a painful pattern. April 18th, 2015, my 16th birthday today. Family went to Bianca's volleyball tournament. Mom promised we'd celebrate next weekend, but forgot. April 18th, 2016. No one remembered again. Dad gave me $20 when I mentioned it at dinner. April 18th, 2017. Rachel brought cupcakes to school. At least someone remembered. I slammed the journal shut and grabbed my phone, texting Rachel. Remember that Florida trip we talked about? I booked it for my birthday. For real this time. I'm done. Her reply arrives instantly. Finally, it's about time you did something for yourself. I'm in. For the first time in days, I smile.
2 hours later, half a bottle of wine gone, Rachel sits cross-legged on my living room floor with her laptop. So you're really doing this? She gestures at the reservation confirmation glowing on my screen. You're just going to vanish for your birthday and let Bianca's party fall apart? I nod, pulling up the fake vendor contracts I've been creating all evening. I've already emailed my parents confirming everything is under control. They trust me completely to manage it all. They have no idea who they're dealing with. Rachel raises her wine glass. To the real birthday girl. The following morning at work, Michael from accounting leans against my cubicle. Got a minute? I follow him to the break room where he shows me his phone. I heard about your Florida plan from Rachel. I have airline miles expiring soon. How about a first-class upgrade for the birthday girl? Tears sting unexpectedly. Michael, you don't have to. Please, it's either you or my mother, and she'd just complain about the champagne. He shows me the confirmation. Already done. That evening, a text arrives from Aunt Susan. Heard you're finally celebrating your birthday. Whatever you're planning, I fully support you. Let me know if you need anything. An hour later, Rachel, Michael, and Lisa send their ticket confirmations. We're all going together. The contrast between these sincere connections and my family's constant demands feels like stepping from darkness into sunlight. Friday evening at my parents' house, I spread the fake vendor contracts across the dining table. Catering, decorations, entertainment, each with convincing letterheads and deposit confirmations. We trust you completely, dear, Mom says without even glancing at them. She slides an envelope toward me. Here's the deposit money. $2,800 should cover everything, right? Dad nods distractedly, focused on his phone. Bianca's upset about the color scheme again. She wants silver instead of gold. I'll handle it, I reply automatically. Words I've spoken thousands of times, but this time they taste different. On Monday, 3 days later, I deposit the check into my account. The teller smiles. Saving for something special? I picture the ocean view from my bungalow, the dolphin excursion booked for my birthday, the first-class ticket waiting in my inbox. Yes, I say, feeling the unfamiliar shape of a genuine smile. Something very special. Just for me. During a family dinner that Saturday, or rather another ambush, the dining room feels smaller than usual, the walls closing in as this emergency meeting unfolds, 2 weeks before Bianca's birthday, as though we're discussing matters of national importance. These decorations are completely unacceptable. Bianca slams her hand on a catalog. This is the most important day of my life. The centerpieces must be at least twice this size. Mom nods sympathetically while Dad checks his watch. I sit quietly, jotting notes in my planner while mentally confirming my flight details. We'll need to increase the budget again, Dad says, reaching for his checkbook. His eyes flick toward me. Kendall, cover the difference until we get to the bank next week. I nod automatically after years of practice. My savings account has already recovered from booking my Florida trip, thanks to my salary and a forgotten Christmas bonus I'd tucked away. Oh, Dad says, pausing mid-signature, as if remembering something trivial. Isn't your birthday next month, too? Before I can respond, Mom pats my hand. We can have pizza at our place for you after Bianca's celebration settles down. Nothing extravagant, but still nice. The old Kendall would have smiled gratefully. This Kendall simply writes pizza in capital letters in her planner and underlines it 3 times. Thanks, Mom. That sounds perfect. The next morning, even though it's Sunday, I email my boss requesting personal days. My first vacation in 2 years. Family emergency, I write, which isn't entirely inaccurate. My emergency is escaping my family. On Wednesday, the week before the party, I pack at night when I know no one will stop by unexpectedly. Each item feels like a quiet rebellion. My brightest sundress, the swimsuit I bought 3 summers ago but never wore, sunglasses too bold for practical Kendall. When Bianca texts demanding gold-dipped orchids, I wait 40 minutes before replying. When Mom calls about changing the menu again, I let it go to voicemail until lunch. Small rebellions, but they make me stand taller. The final payment for the dolphin swimming excursion posts to my credit card on Thursday, perfectly scheduled for my actual birthday. I trace the confirmation email, warmth spreading through my chest. Mine. For me. Finally. That night at 9:47 p.m., my phone rings. Dad's voice booms through the speaker before I can greet him. Emergency family meeting. Now. Bianca's having a crisis. I arrive to find Bianca pacing the living room, mascara streaking her cheeks. 15 more people RSVP'd today. 15. Where will they sit? What will they eat? The seating chart is ruined. Mom rushes to comfort her while Dad turns toward me, expectation heavy in his gaze. This is what you do best, dear, Mom says. Fix it. 3 faces stare at me. Bianca's desperate. Mom's pleading. Dad's demanding. The old Kendall would have already grabbed her laptop, already started calling vendors, already solving the problem. I take a deep breath and meet their eyes one by one. Everything is under control. Trust me. The words hang in the room. To them, I'm promising to handle Bianca's crisis. To me, I'm confirming my escape is perfectly planned. Dad's shoulders relaxed. I knew we could count on you. If only they knew. At dawn the following day, the alarm buzzed at 3:30 a.m., but I was not sleeping. Rachel's text comes exactly 5 minutes later. Outside. Engine off, no lights. I wheel my suitcase silently down the hallway, locking my apartment door behind me. Rachel hugs me before taking my bag. Operation Birthday Girl is officially underway, she whispers, her grin visible even in the dark. The drive to the airport feels like crossing a border into a new country, one where I matter. Rachel hands me a travel mug of coffee and a birthday card signed by everyone in on the plan. At check-in, the attendant smiles. You've been upgraded to first class, Miss Matthews. I turn to Rachel and squeeze her hand. She smiles and nods back. Aunt Susan's text arrives as I wait to board. Package delivered to rental house. Happy early birthday, sweetheart. So proud of you. The group chat with my friends buzzes with excitement. Weather forecast? Perfect. Dinner reservations confirmed. Cake ordered, your favorite. When my row is called, I stand tall, boarding pass firm in my hand. As the plane doors close, I switch my phone to airplane mode, the notification count of missed calls from my family disappearing. Relief washes over me like cool water. Later that day, I step into sunshine so bright it makes me squint with Rachel. The rental car takes me along coastal roads until I pull up to a pale blue house with wide windows facing the ocean. As my friends also came with me, Rachel, Michael, and my college roommate Lisa are now on the porch, holding a banner that reads, Happy Birthday, Kendall. The sight of it, my name in bright letters, makes my throat tight. Inside, tasteful decorations catch the sunlight. Nothing like the gaudy, excessive preparations for Bianca. Just simple, beautiful touches that show someone thought about what I would like. Rachel hands me a champagne flute. To Kendall, she says, raising her glass, finally celebrating the birthday girl who deserves it.
We clink glasses, and I look around at these people who traveled here just for me, who took days off work, who spent their money and time to make me feel special. I need to change my voicemail, I say suddenly, pulling out my phone. They watch as I record. Hi, you've reached Kendall. I'm unavailable until further notice. Please leave a message. Unavailable. The word tastes like freedom. That evening, I walk alone on the beach as the sun sinks toward the horizon. The water rushes over my feet, then retreats, again and again, like the years I've spent giving and retreating, giving and retreating. For the first time, I let myself feel the pain of being overlooked. Tears come hot and fast, drops of salt water joining the vast ocean before me. Footsteps approach from behind. My friends surround me, Rachel holding a chocolate cupcake with a single candle flickering in the breeze, in early celebration. Make a wish, Lisa says softly. I close my eyes. I wish to never disappear again. The candle goes out. I open my eyes to find them all smiling at me. I think this is the first time I felt special on my birthday, I whisper. Michael pulls out his phone for a group selfie, the sunset painting us in gold. Caption? He asks, thumb hovering over the screen. I smile, feeling lighter than I have in years. Best birthday I've never had. On Bianca's birthday that Saturday, the grand ballroom of Westlake Country Club stands empty at 6:15 p.m. No twinkling fairy lights, no champagne fountain, no centerpieces with fresh roses, just bare tables and undecorated walls. The venue manager glances at his watch, shrugging at the waitstaff who hover near the kitchen doors. At 6:27, the first guests arrive in cocktail attire. They wander through the unlocked doors, voices echoing in the cavernous space. Is this the Matthews party? A woman in a sequined gown asks the confused server. No setup has been scheduled for today, he replies, checking his clipboard. We have nothing on the calendar. By 6:45, the parking lot fills with luxury cars and confused attendees. Small clusters form as guests check their invitations, confirming the date and time. At exactly 7 o'clock, Bianca makes her entrance through the double doors. Her custom-made gold gown catches the fluorescent overhead lights as her expression transforms from regal anticipation to horror. Where is everything? Her voice rises sharply. Where are the decorations? The bar? The DJ? She spins toward our parents, who stand frozen just inside the doorway. Mom fumbles for her phone, frantically dialing the venue manager's number. There must be some mistake, she says, voice trembling, as the manager approaches. We booked weeks ago. My daughter handled all the arrangements. I'm sorry, Mrs. Matthews, he says, reviewing his tablet. We have no record of any reservation for tonight. Nothing has been booked and no deposits were placed. Dad steps forward, reaching for his wallet. There's been a misunderstanding. I can pay now whatever premium necessary. The manager's expression remains professionally sympathetic. Sir, we're fully booked tomorrow with a wedding. We have no staff scheduled tonight, no catering prepared, and the decorating crew isn't here. There's nothing available. As it ain't mine. Outside in the parking lot, Bianca screams into her phone. Kendall, answer your damn phone. What have you done? Her mascara runs in black rivulets down her flushed cheeks. She stabs at the screen again and again, each call going straight to voicemail. Mom paces between confused guests, phone pressed against her ear. Kendall, this is your mother. Call me immediately. Your sister's party is... There's been some kind of... Just call me back. Her voice cracks as she hangs up and immediately redials. Maybe she had an accident, Dad suggests, loosening his tie as sweat beads on his forehead. Should we call the hospitals? I posted the invitations on my story last week, Bianca wails as friends awkwardly pat her shoulder. Everyone will know my birthday was ruined. Mom gathers herself, addressing the growing crowd. We're moving the celebration to our home. Please follow us there. But guests are already drifting toward their cars, making excuses about babysitters and early morning commitments. By 8:30, Bianca sits on our parents' couch, scrolling through her phone, sobbing afresh. Marissa already posted about the birthday disaster. It's all over Instagram. During that time in Florida, I stretch out on a massage table as gentle hands work the knots from my shoulders. Ocean waves provide the soundtrack through open windows, and I haven't touched my phone in hours. Best birthday gift ever, I murmur as the masseuse works on a particularly tight spot between my shoulder blades. In the beach house kitchen, Rachel screens my messages, fielding the 20th call from my mother. Still no answer, she tells Michael and Jen, who arrange a birthday breakfast tray with fresh fruit and mimosas. Should we show her any of these? Michael asks, holding up my phone as it buzzes again. Rachel shakes her head. Not yet. This vacation is for her only. Days later, when my actual birthday comes, at sunrise with my friends, I pose with my mimosa against the brilliant orange sky, salt spray in my hair, and genuine joy on my face. Rachel captures the moment perfectly. Caption? She asks, showing me the photo. I think for a moment. 26 years later, finally celebrating me. Hashtag my birthday, my way. Within an hour, notifications flood my account. Coworkers, high school friends, and distant relatives leave comments. You go, girl. About time. Wait, isn't this when your sister's big party was supposed to be? Looking happier than I've ever seen you. Aunt Susan's comment appears prominently. So proud of you for finally putting yourself first, sweetheart. Happy birthday. Later that day, after we swam with dolphins, I switched to Bianca's profile to find a stream of sympathetic messages beneath her tearful selfie, captioned "Worst birthday ever." Her responses reveal the truth. My selfish sister abandoned her responsibilities, and she deliberately sabotaged everything after we trusted her. By evening, I check my phone again. The notification banner shows 60 missed calls, 120 text messages, and countless social media alerts. My friends watch nervously as I scroll through the first few vicious texts from my family. "Ready for birthday cake?" Jen asks, sliding a small chocolate cake toward me with a single glowing candle. Michael snaps the photo. Me smiling behind the flickering light. Ocean sunset in the background. "Caption for this one?" Rachel asks. I look at the image, at the genuine happiness in my eyes. Just worth the wait. As I post it, a message notification pops up from Kelly, a girl I haven't spoken to since high school. "I always wondered why your family treated you differently. Good for you, Kendall." I turn off my phone and slide it into a drawer. "Let's go swimming," I suggest. Rising from the table, the weight of decades lifts from my shoulders as we race toward the moonlit waves. Whatever storm awaits me back home can wait. Tonight belongs to me. The day I returned from my birthday trip, my phone buzzed to life as the plane touched down. Notifications flooding in like a digital tsunami. 3 voicemails from Dad, 7 texts from Mom, and an email from Bianca with a subject line in all caps. I take a deep breath before listening to the first message. "You've destroyed this family." Dad's voice trembles with rage. "Come home immediately to fix this." Mom's text cuts deeper. "How could you embarrass us like this? Everyone is talking." The email from Bianca contains a paragraph of accusations, ending with, "You ruined the most important day of my life. I'll never forgive you." 3 and only Aunt Susan's message offers any comfort.
"They're planning an ambush when you get home. Stay strong, sweetheart. You did what you needed to do." In the airport bathroom, I stare at my reflection, while Rachel's voice plays through my speakerphone. "Remember why you did this. You deserve to be celebrated too." "I matter too," I whisper to the mirror, shoulders squared. "No more invisible daughter." I practice the words again, louder this time. An older woman at the sink beside me nods approvingly. An hour later, my Uber driver glances at me in the rearview mirror as we approach my apartment building. "Whatever you're heading into, you look ready for it." I clutch my beach tote tighter. I hope so. The key turns in my lock, but the door opens before I can push it. They're already inside. Mom sits ramrod straight on my sofa. Dad paces by the window, and Bianca occupies my reading chair, eyes puffy and mascara smudged. "How could you be so selfish and childish?" Mom launches her attack before I fully entered. Her voice pitches higher with each word. Dad stops pacing, hands shoved deep in his pockets. "We raised you better than this, Kendall. You've always been jealous of me." Bianca's voice breaks on a theatrical sob. I set my bag down slowly, deliberately closing the door behind me. They expect me to crumple, to apologize, to beg forgiveness. I remain standing while they sit. "I've been planning my sister's birthdays since I was 15. I begin, my voice steadier than I expected. I've canceled my own plans, used my savings, and spent countless hours making sure Bianca's special days were perfect. Mom opens her mouth, but I hold up my hand. I'm not finished. The words come out sharper than I intended. I pull out my phone and open my calendar app. Here are the last 11 years of our birthdays. See these highlighted dates? Those are Bianca's celebrations. Notice anything about the dates 2 weeks later? My birthdays? I turn the screen toward them. No highlights, no events, nothing. Dad shifts uncomfortably. That's hardly the point. I've never had a birthday party. My voice doesn't waver. Not once in 26 years. This vacation with my friends was the first time anyone has ever celebrated with me. I pull out a folder, organized just like the one they've handed me for years. Here's a list of expenses I've covered for Bianca's parties. $6,000 in the last 3 years alone. Money I was promised would be reimbursed. The silence stretches between us, thick and uncomfortable. Birthdays aren't important at your age anyway, Mom finally says, waving her hand dismissively. Dad's face hardens. After all we've done for you, this is how you repay us? By humiliating your sister in front of everyone we know? You've always been the boring one, Bianca sniffs. Who would even come to your party? Their words hang in the air, revealing the truth I've always suspected but never wanted to believe. I feel something inside me snap clean, like a rubber band stretched beyond its limit. I spent my birthday with people who actually celebrate me, I say quietly. People who see me as more than just Bianca's backup plan. Mom blinks rapidly, surprised by my calm defiance. Dad's mouth opens and closes without sound. I need my apartment key back. I hold out my hand to Mom, who fumbles in her purse, suddenly unsure. From now on, my birthday will be acknowledged just like Bianca's. I keep my voice even as the key drops into my palm. Either we rebuild this relationship with mutual respect, or we don't have one at all. You can't be serious, Dad sputters. After everything. I am completely serious. I move toward the door and open it wide. I think you should leave now. They rise slowly, disbelief etched across their faces. Mom pauses in the doorway. We should discuss this when you're thinking more clearly. I've never thought more clearly in my life. I meet her gaze without flinching. One by one, they file out. Bianca throws a final glare over her shoulder. I close the door firmly behind them and slide the deadbolt into place. In the sudden quiet of my apartment, I press my back against the door and slide down until I'm sitting on the floor. My hands tremble as the adrenaline ebbs. But for the first time in years, the trembling doesn't feel like weakness. It feels like freedom. A year later, during my birthday party, the doorbell chimes as I adjust the string of twinkling lights draped across my living room. My apartment, once a utilitarian space, now bursts with colors. I've chosen vibrant yellows and coral accents that would have terrified the old Kendall. I smooth my hand over the new haircut. I finally had the courage to try, shorter, with caramel highlights framing my face. Birthday girl! Rachel swoops in with a homemade cake, followed by Michael and 3 other friends. Behind them stands Aunt Susan, clutching a wrapped package tied with a satin ribbon. Look at you, Aunt Susan says, giving me a proper once-over. Standing tall, taking up space. I catch a glimpse of myself in the hallway mirror. She's right. My shoulders no longer curve inward. My smile reaches my eyes. What a difference a year makes. Rachel raises her glass, champagne catching the light. To the year Kendall found her voice, and to many more birthdays celebrated exactly as they should be. The glasses clink together in my small but tastefully decorated apartment. Pictures from Florida hang prominently on the wall, tangible proof of the moment everything changed. My therapist would call this progress, I say with a laugh that comes easily now. Dr. Whitman helped me understand that one act of self-respect could ripple through every aspect of my life. Since standing up to my family, I've earned a promotion at work, asked for a raise, started dating again. Your mom called me yesterday, Aunt Susan says quietly, as the others chat across the room. She wanted to make sure I'd be here. The birthday card from Mom arrived 3 days ago, on time, with a handwritten note that said simply, thinking of you. Baby steps. Dad still struggles with our new dynamic. Last month he asked when I'd get over this phase. Bianca surprised me though. After 6 months of silence, she texted, Do you want to get coffee sometime? We're rebuilding on new terms. Slowly. Present time, Michael announces, piling colorfully wrapped packages on the coffee table. I unwrap each thoughtful gift. Books I've mentioned wanting to read, a delicate bracelet, a concert tickets. Aunt Susan hands me her package last. Inside lies a silver frame holding a faded photograph of 4-year-old me blowing out candles on a small cake. I took this before your parents decided Bianca's celebration should take precedence, she explains. A note tucked behind the photo reads, There was always someone who saw you. Never forget your worth. My throat tightens. I blink rapidly as I place the frame next to my Florida photos. What do you want for your next birthday? Rachel asks, refilling my glass. Just this, I answer. Presence over presence. Yesterday at work, I noticed Jessica, the new hire, apologizing constantly during meetings. I invited her to lunch and shared my story. You're allowed to have opinions, I told her. You're allowed to take up space. In my nightstand drawer lies my journal entry from last week, the year I stopped disappearing. Later, after candles and cake and laughter, I stand alone on my small balcony. The Florida photos hang visibly through the window. On my refrigerator calendar, 2 birthdays are marked with equal prominence, mine and Bianca's. My phone rings. It's Mom, probably calling about the family dinner next weekend. Kendall, can you help with the decorations for your father's retirement party? You're so good with those details. I take a deep breath. No, I can't help with that. I have my own plans that day. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give yourself is the permission to matter.